With gold and silver serving as money for more than 5,000 years, it's hard to think that there are any stacking secrets or any unknown stacking gold strategies to share. You might be correct if you think about a secret as an adjective or being something you don't want anyone to know about, like a crush. But a secret gold stacking strategy used as a noun is something more like a mystery, something unexplained, or something kept from the knowledge of others or shared only confidentially with a few. The art of stacking gold doesn't need to be a mystery, as I share 5 secrets that allowed me to triple my stack. I can't understate the importance of this video's message, so let me start by saying that I did not triple my gold stack in 2022 because of a large influx of cash or a change in my income. Secondly, I didn't clickbait you by only stacking 1 ounce of gold in 2021 and then I just tripled that. Not at all. Third, and most importantly, you can't get rich quick. You just can't triple your stack overnight with minimal effort. However, what I can promise you is if you stick with this video until the end, do the work, and fully implement these secrets, your chances to triple your stack going forward will significantly increase. I would love to tell you that it's easy and everyone can do it, but it requires work that many of you may not be willing to commit to doing. But I'm 100% confident for whatever percentage of you that actually follow these 5 steps, a year from now, you'll be sending me messages thanking me for the information that you got here today. The best part is these secrets don't only apply to the metals market, they apply to any asset you choose to invest in. So I think these are important life skills to learn right now. Secret number 1, stop looking for experts. Become one yourself. Hands down, the biggest mistake stackers and most investors make is that they look for and look to so-called experts to tell them what to do and when to do it. The reality is that when it comes to stacking, it starts with you. You need to fully understand the investment, become a student of the investment vehicle. And that is actually why I started Stackers University. I want to help you become your own expert so you learn for yourself what drives markets, what really makes markets go up and down, how assets perform when conditions are met, and how not to be reliant on anyone else. Related to that, you just got to stop caring what other people say, folks. You have to learn to stand on your own knowledge, logic, and understanding of the asset. And when you realize that an overwhelming number of people, especially investors, buy high and sell low, you'll find comfort in being a contrarian like Warren Buffett, Rick Rule, and some of the other legendary investors. As famed investor Jim Rogers says frequently, don't listen to me. Don't do what I do because I might be wrong. He tells listeners to invest in what they understand. And I couldn't agree any stronger with those words. I don't want you to rely on me either to make your decisions. Rely on yourself. Become your own expert. Which leads me to secret number 2, time frame and patience. The challenge with YouTube and similar platforms is that most creators are after the clicks, views, or to push whatever product they're trying to sell. As a result, hype, fear, FOMO, crises is what gets the clicks, is what sells. As a result, they have to constantly create this sense of urgency, which inevitably distorts your sense of timeline and patience. For the last 2 years, all you've heard were people telling you that you needed to act now because metals were going to take off any day, that we are running out of silver and all that other hype. If you're not grounded in secret number 1, these messages will make you feel a sense of unnecessary urgency, especially when so many voices are repeating the same quote-unquote urgent message. When you understand what a typical market cycle looks like, the timing, the needed conditions, and typical performance to expect, it's hard for anyone to convince you that you need to do anything right now. Finally, as it relates to time frame and patience, I personally follow the 2010 cycle that suggests that stocks and equities have their bull run for 20 years, followed by a 10-year commodity bull market. Knowing this, I then can look back at previous cycles and have more confidence about timing. I can have a sense of patience and not feel the need to quote, fools rush in, knowing that metals don't typically move quickly or overnight, that their drivers are more slow moving market conditions like bonds, interest rates, and money flows. That knowledge is what allows me to not FOMO in with others and instead be patient. I don't try to time the market, but I do listen to the market so that I have a sense of when is the optimal time to jump in. When you know the time frame and you have patience, you then can take advantage of secret number 3, understanding and utilizing the price cycles. I've already mentioned the 2010 cycle, but beyond that is your understanding of price cycles and movements, as you are rewarded for your patience and understanding of this part of the market. Over the last week or 2, I received a number of emails about FOMO and asking me how to resist it and how I resist FOMO and how I can be so confident that prices will come back and offer us another buying opportunity somewhere between $17.50 and $17.20. While I don't think our goal should ever be to time the market, I do think we can use data to help us find the optimal times to buy and or to sit out. While not everyone is a fan of Elliott Wave, I find this technical approach invaluable as it explains price movements as well as offers predictive price ranges. Understanding that after prices increase, there's almost always a retracement, a corrective wave between the 38% and 62% price there. Without sharing all my business, I think in order for you to really understand this secret, you actually need to see how I put secrets 1, 2, and 3 into action, particularly secret number 3. What you see here is a cut and paste from my buying log. And what I want you to notice is that after the war price run up in March, notice how I didn't FOMO in, but slowly bought back into the market. I wasn't sure if prices were going to stick or not. So my approach was to stake small positions until the market declared its intentions. Even though the plan was to make a series of quarter ounce purchases for that next month or two, it didn't always happen that way. And it's not because of FOMO, but it actually happened because I kept coming across incredible deals. Like on April 7th, I was able to buy a 1 ounce coin for $20 over spot, then a 1 ounce eagle for $50 over spot, and then a 1 ounce bar at spot. While I cringed looking at the spot prices, at the same time, we didn't know where the market was going for sure, and the premiums were low enough that I felt justified making those purchases. I also want you to notice that after April 28th, I didn't buy anything for 3 months, and I wasn't shy about telling you all. I started telling you to focus on the conditions and not predictions. We talked about cash being king and stacking cash as the market was free falling. In June, I started teaching you about market cycles and how to tell where prices are going. Then on June 19th, I did a video declaring why I didn't buy the dip when everyone else was telling people to buy the dip. I also offended a number of people by sharing that I believe dollar cost averaging is a terrible strategy in a falling market and that you'd be better off sitting on the sidelines. On July 14th, I cautioned you to hold tight because I believed lower prices were coming. All of this is important because while I was sitting on the sidelines, I was stacking cash that was going to allow me to have more dry powder when I felt the market bottom. This is why more than 25% of this year's stack was purchased between September 27th and November 3rd for an average accumulation cost of $1,715 with an average spot price of $1,655.56, which was only 4% over spot and literally $200 to $300 off of gold's high. Secret number 4, liquidity. The reality for me is that metals are the ultimate transformer, meaning there is so much more than meets the eye. Okay, I couldn't resist that cheesy line, I'm sorry. Metals are and can be an investment, a store of value, a hedge against inflation, a way to protect your wealth, as well as a form of liquidity. We all know cash is the ultimate form of liquidity, but Rick Rule says it's far better than I ever could. Quote, for me personally, liquidity comes in many forms, principally the US dollar liquidity, but also liquidity by the way of bullion. Even though it may be hard to liquidate metals at a quote unquote loss, as Rick Rule states this, is easier if you view the loss as an insurance premium. This is also why I push so hard against spending extra money on premiums, and I constantly repeat that your money is made when you buy, not when you sell. When you see your metals as liquidity and embrace the idea of being your own bank, it's easier to convert more of that fiat into real money, meaning metals, keeping it out of the commercial banks, which is exactly what I did to accumulate more gold. Finally, using secret number 3, meaning your ability to sniper in and accumulate at the right times during price cycles, along with minimizing your premiums, makes it significantly easier to see the liquidity of metals. The fact that 25% of my 2022 stack is at a dollar cost average below gold's current price at $1,750 makes it really easy for me to convert to cash should I desire. With a clear grasp of secrets 1 through 4, secret number 5 pulls it all together, which is focus and confluence. Focus is not just locking in on a target. It's an acronym for finding your objective, creating a written plan, utilizing your resources, and success will follow. When you focus in on something, especially with a written goal and a plan that is written, your focus becomes a tailwind pushing you further, faster. It is especially easier when you understand the investment, know the market drivers, and then see confluence or confirmation. You know then it's time to push harder. It's like running a marathon and finally seeing the finish line, so you dig a little bit deeper. When I saw the confluence, I dug deeper into my budget. I made more personal sacrifices in order to free up more money to allow me to stack more. To take advantage of this opportunity, I found new ways to stack harder and smarter. Because I fully implement and live these 5 secrets, I don't need someone to tell me which dip to buy or when to take my shots. My knowledge and understanding allow me to see the openings and opportunities. When others are worried and lamenting about how poorly metals were performing, I was being patient and sniping in towards the bottoms. I have learned how to be greedy when others have been fearful and cautious when others are over exuberant. I'm not some kind of genius, but I am someone who researches and learns about the asset before I ever put my money into it so that I can become my own expert, which is what I want you to become. As I often say around here, you have more time than you do money, so you should invest your time in learning before you invest your money. This is also why I say the investor is far more important than the investment. I wish these 5 secrets were easy enough that everyone would follow them, but the reality is, if any of this was easy, we'd all be millionaires or more. What I do know is the more willing I am to do things that other people aren't willing to do, the better my results. So before you comment on today's video, ask yourself and really think about this. Are you willing to do the things others won't do in order to get the results others can't? Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to make the sacrifices? Are you willing to commit your whole being to the goal for the sake of you, your family, and your future? If the answer is yes, make your commitment public today by commenting, "Yes, I commit." I would never have guessed that I could have or would have tripled my gold stack this year, as doubling my 2021 numbers felt like a stretch from the beginning. But amazing things happen when you are a student of what you invest in. Set strong goals, have a clear purpose, and watch out for part 2 of this video where you will find out about how cabs changed my life, made me a better investor in person. Give yourself an A+ in the comments for making it all the way through this video, and always stack smarter and never stop learning.